Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Life After Undergrad. I'm your host, Shanoa Manso, a licensed master social worker, a graduate student, a graduate assistant, and your guide through this 12-day journey of grace. We're officially at day 10, and today we are stepping into something beautiful, something powerful, something deeply necessary. Grace in courage. But before we begin, let's take a moment to revisit yesterday's reflection. Grace in belief. We talked about how belief is the gentle root that everything grows from. Your dreams, your confidence, your mission. Belief is the quiet voice that keeps you going, even when doubt is loud. And holding belief with grace means giving yourself permission to trust your own becoming. That trust carries us into today because courage is belief in motion. Courage is often misunderstood. People think it's loud, dramatic, brave on command energy. But real courage is quieter. It's personal. It's the moment you stay when you can or you want. It's the moment you stay when you want to run, speak when you want to stay silent, or take the next step even when the path is unclear. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's choosing to move forward while fear is still present. And that's where grace comes in. Grace gives you permission to be scared and still show up. Grace reminds you that courage doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be honest. Grace allows you to take small steps without judging yourself for not leaping. That is what courage looks like in real life. It looks like applying for the internship you're not sure you'll get. It looks like following a passion even when people don't understand or see the vision. It looks like letting yourself dream bigger than the room you grew up in. Courage is personal evolution in motion. There was a time when I was shrinking myself, my ideas, because I felt too big. I had all these passions, all these ideas, all these interests in storytelling, social work, creativity, advocacy, being a student, supporting the student experience. But I kept them all small because stepping into them felt scary. It felt like if I picked one or stepped into one harder than the other, then I might have been picking one over one another in a sense. And I wanted to really show the intersectionality of things like storytelling, like social work, like creativity, imagination, dancing, painting, using so many different methods to not only feel well in your life, but feel well in your journey, feel creative, imaginative. Then one day I asked myself, am I afraid because it's wrong for me, or am I afraid because it's right and I know it will change me? That question changed everything. Courage didn't show up as one huge moment. It showed up as small yeses. Yes to starting my podcast at the beginning of the year. Yes to sharing my story publicly on this podcast and then in my Instagram and on my website. Yes to the opportunities that stretched me, that made me maybe more tired or made my day longer than it had to be, but made it fulfilling within those long hours. Yes to giving myself permission to grow past what's familiar. Courage rarely arrives as a roar. Sometimes it's a whisper. Try again. And you have to. Keep going. Here are a few things courage teaches us when approached with grace. Courage is choosing alignment over approval. You stop asking yourself, will they like it? And start asking, does this feel true to me? Courage is uncomfortable by design. Growth happens outside your comfort zone. But grace keeps you grounded while you stretch. Courage shows up in small moments, sending the email, setting the boundary, admitting what you really want or need for yourself. Courage requires vulnerability. To want something is brave. To say it out loud is even braver. Courage creates identity. Every courageous choice shapes who you become next. As we sit here today and reflect, I want you to sit and think about these questions. You don't need to answer them right now, but take a moment. What is one thing I know and I need to do, even if fear is present? Where have I been shrinking myself to stay comfortable? What would courage look like in the smallest, gentlest steps today? What am I ready to choose for myself that I've been avoiding? You don't need big answers. just honest ones. Courage isn't about being fearless, it's about being faithful to yourself. It's about trusting your heart enough to take steps towards the life you want, even if your voice shakes. Grace allows you to take imperfect action. Grace says you're trying, and that is enough. Grace holds your hand while courage leads the way. So, thank you for spending day 10 of 12 Days of Grace series with me. We are getting close to the finish line, but in many ways, this is where the journey gets even more meaningful because courage is the bridge between who you were and who you're becoming. If you're interested in this series and are enjoying it, make sure to follow Life After Undergrad and check out our Instagram and TikTok at TVSWCT for more daily uploads. Until next time, may you move with courage and may you hold yourself with grace. See ya!